What's up YouTube, it's Orth. I'm back with another raid video, and today we're talking about a champion that single-handedly has taken my Chimera damage and my Chimera trials to another level, and that is Finna. I pulled her in one of my YouTube summoning sessions a while ago. I was super excited to pull her on the same day we pulled Ganute too, so it was a pretty good day for me. And I built a team basically around Finna. Now, she has some really good things. Of course, she has a speed aura. She has a passive whenever she lands buffs. It boosts the turn meter, which is also really good in Chimera. She has the increased crit rate, increased crit damage, and increased attack, which all these things are very good in Chimera because it helps you with the trials. That's what she's there for. She's there to boost your trials. And the other money ability, the A2, this is incredible. This lands a block damage, a block debuff, and a counter attack on one champion and resets their cooldowns on all of their abilities, which is incredible because we are going to use this with Marius. We're going to use it in with Marius. And the main thing with this that didn't actually occur to me initially until somebody in my stream pointed it out is that when you're facing the Ram phase or the Ram form, you can't actually do any enemy max HP because the reflect damage will just down your champion, right? Because the reflect damage is so high, you won't be able to sustain that damage. However, if you have block damage on your enemy max HP nuker, you can then do as much damage as you like and you don't have to worry about that reflect damage because the reflect damage is being blocked. And it also decreases the cooldown, making it perfect for you being able to cycle your nukes and not worry about the reflect damage. Now, I'll show you guys all of the gear, but first I'll show you Finna's gear. She's at 60k HP, 3.7k defense, 334 speed, and 540 resistance. Really happy with the build, especially because this was my second protection build in resistance. So it was hard to kind of put together, but I'm happy the way it turned out. I could have built my champions at 360 speed, but the survivability wouldn't have been great. But I do believe 330 speed is about as much you need. You're going to have increased speed, you're going to have decreased speed, you're going to have turn meter boosts. So I would recommend going a little bit faster than Chimera. Chimera's 305 speed. I would recommend going around about 320, 330 speed after Aura. If you can't reach that much, even just the same speed as Chimera is also fine. Like I mentioned, you are going to get the buffs and the debuffs. Now, I want to show you guys the team I ran, and another change I made is rather than running 2 damage dealers, I'm only running 1 damage dealer. And that is Marius, right? Marius does incredible, amazing damage. You don't actually need a Ganute. I would recommend everybody stop running 2 damage dealers, only run 1 damage dealer and do as many trials as you possibly can. So having said that, I have Marius as my main damage dealer and only damage dealer. I have Finna in the lead since she has the highest speed aura. She has 20 speed and then Elva has 19 speed. Not much difference, but we'll take it. We have Nekmothar in a relentless plus speed set. Impulse will be perfect, but it's just relentless and speed for now. I'll show you the stats at the end. We have a protection set, a 9-piece protection on Elva, and we have Lydia. I couldn't put another champion in protection at this point because I was running a little bit low on protections. So we went with Reflex and Merciless. Now, I want to show you guys the key. This was my first time running this team, so I did make some mistakes. We probably could have done more than 13 trials. They do say you can do around about 15, maybe 16 trials if you absolutely play this correctly. But again, it took me an hour to complete this key, so there are some misplays I do make. It's my first time running this key. I am going to get better at running this key. But I want to show you guys the Ram form first. Let's back it up a little bit. So we're going to show you guys the Ram form. And the great thing is, like I mentioned, is getting that block damage from our Finna. We don't have to worry about the reflect damage coming from the boss. So here you'll see my Finna just put block damage, block debuffs, and counter attack. All got protected, which doesn't really matter. But you'll see here, we're going to go ahead and do the big nuke. We're going to get tons of damage from this. One of the main issue with Ram form is that you can't even do any damage because the reflect damage is going to just down you. So having a champion who can do block damage like this is absolutely fantastic. I'm just going over some of the trials, which I spent a long time kind of taking in how to run this team, what trials I can do, what trials I can't do. I should have really focused on the trial number two because that's the trial I feel like I can get done all the way through. The other trials are a little bit tricky. I think the third trial, on the second or on the normal trial, you need to have like decreased resistance or something. I just didn't have in my team. So you guys will see whenever I decide to do the nuke. Come on now. I'm kind of just making sure. And there it is. We would see like 790k, 800k. 3-star Marius, he needs to get bigger. He needs to get better. 4-star is going to give us a lot more crit damage, taking us higher up on how much damage we can do. But you can see we do a massive amount of damage there. And we did almost a first trial in one shot, 2.2 million. We need 2.5, and we will be able to get that done. So really nice sort of synergy between one damage dealer and your Finna. If you have two damage dealers, again, the second damage dealer will be rendered a little bit useless here because you won't be able to get block damage on them and you're basically going to be struggling to keep them alive, right? So just one damage dealer is all you need. I wouldn't recommend running more than one damage dealer anymore because all you really need is 112 million damage, and after that you kind of want to do trials. You still want to get close to that 4 billion clash points, but as you'll see, getting the ocular masses from trials is much more kind of beneficial to you or to your account. Getting more crafts on those relics will be better for you than just going for the bigger number on damage, right? It doesn't really reward you to keep getting bigger and bigger numbers. So we'll just take this forward. Like I said, I will leave a link to the entire run in my comment, in the comment sections, or not in the comments, in the description. I'll show you guys where you can find the full VOD for this. As you can see, it's a long sort of video. It took me like an hour to get through. We're in the lion phase, so we're basically just using our one Marius to do all the damage rather than using Marius and Gnu. And I was really happy with the damage. I was thinking maybe it'll be difficult for me to be able to do 112 million damage with just a single target damage dealer, or not the single target damage dealer, but this is the single target or the single damage dealer. But we were basically comfortable. I did run about 160 million, massive amount of damage. Really happy with the amount of trials I was able to do too. 13 is the most I've done. I don't think I've done like double digits before when it comes to the trials. And like I said, we could have done a few more trials as well. One last thing I want to mention is when you're doing this many trials, you kind of want to be careful because Chimera really starts hurting. If you are doing this many trials, if you had 13 trials, the Chimera really starts doing some big damage to you. So you really want to build for survivability. And also, if you can avoid doing buffs at the end of when Chimera is about to switch back, I would recommend that because the boss is going to strip your buffs and do a ton of damage to you. So if you can avoid doing buffs right at the end of when Chimera is about to change over back to the normal form, you should probably try that because as you'll see here, the Chimera is changing back. He has 13 different trials done and bang, 62,000 crit on my Necmotha. He does have like close to 4k defense, but still like the boss is ignoring, I think 25% defense. The boss is ignoring any damage reduction passive or any damage reduction buff like the block damage or anything like that. So he's just going to completely blast you. So if you can avoid using a lot of unprotected buffs, I would recommend doing that. So you don't want as much as you don't really mind if the damage is not that high, you really do not want to go down. I'm going to try to get closer to like 4 billion clash points because I'll take this forward and you'll see that we actually do pretty well on clash points, right? We're at 3.129 or 3.191 billion clash points. Yeah, 3.19 billion clash points, 181 million, just a single target damage dealer, and obviously Finna too, who's amazing. Finna is really good for this. So if you guys have a Finna, make sure you guys are using that. If you don't have Finna, you can use it like a different block damage champion if you have one. It's really good. You don't actually need a Ganut. I would recommend probably dropping your Ganut and trying to go for more damage. Even if you are using any other second damage dealer, you don't need more than 112 million. Just basically try to do as many trials as you can. And this team for me was fantastic. This is the team I'm going to be running from now on. I'm just basically explaining that Lydia, the difference between Lydia and Nekmothar, they both have War Master. The only difference is Lydia has Smite, right? So the Smite is bringing in around about 10 million more damage. So make sure you guys are also using a champion with Smite. More than one champion, probably not, but just one champion with Smite is enough. You can use Lydia or you can use Nekmothar or anybody with accuracy. You can go ahead and take a Smite on them. I'll show you guys what we got for 13 trials. How many goodies we got? Here it is. We got the invigorated, I think it's just invigorated gemstone, which is really good. We got some ocular masses, some mythical ones, legendary ones, epic ones, and rare ones too. And we got a 2-star chicken. Now, spoiler alert, we didn't actually get anything good. I crafted like 4 or 5 pieces and all of them were epic and all of them were from the standard group. So a little bit, my bad luck with relics has kicked in, and it feels a little bit bad. I would have liked a legendary to drop, but it is what it is. Maybe we'll get it next time, hopefully. But I'll show you guys the rest of the gear basically. So Finna, I'll show you guys how she's built. She's built with enough resistance to resist Chimera, and she has 334 speed, 3.7k defense, and 60,000 HP. That's where I kind of like it, or where I recommend. 4k defense, 60k HP is about good. If you can get more, great. If not, it's okay. 4k, 60k, just remember that. And then we have Elva, who is 65k, 3.7k defense. Couldn't really get her closer to 4k. I would have liked to. She's at 350 speed and 571 resistance. And then we have, let me show you guys, Lydia. She's in Merciless Reflex. I couldn't take the boot all the way up because I ran out of resources. The Sand Devil resources, but she's at 308 speed. Again, speed falling off a little bit, but as long as she's faster than Marius, that's absolutely fine. 4k defense, 6.3k HP, enough accuracy to land debuffs. Nekmothar was in Relentless. Oh, I need to show you guys masteries too. I'll show you guys that in a second. 60k, 4k, 330, and 473 accuracy. Let's go ahead and show you guys the masteries. War Master on Nekmothar. Everything is pretty much same from Hydra. Lydia, let's show you guys Lydia. Again, War Master, and we have Lasting Gifts and Master Hexer for extending those buffs and debuffs. Funnily enough, Elva doesn't have full masteries. I would love to get her to Unshakable to get more resistance. That way we can actually get more speed and drop some resistance, which would be great. Same thing from Finna. She's not fully masteried. Similar sort of masteries on her. We are working towards those tier 6s. Unshakable would be fantastic. If you guys are struggling with the build, I would recommend making sure she's having Unshakable. You want the resistance on your champions because you don't want to get stripped from the first Chimera's form or the main Chimera form. Also, there's a Viper trial. If you resist up to 20 debuffs, you can basically pass a trial. And if you have 2 champions and you resist all the poisons and such, you can basically do that. So that's what we were going for. We were trying to basically resist those debuffs. But unfortunately, I don't think we got there in time. But like I said, if you can get the masteries for the Unshakable, I would recommend it. War Master, you could go War Master, but again, these stats are very, very hard to make. Even I struggled putting them together, but I would definitely go with the Unshakable. In terms of relics, Finna wasn't really using a relic since she's just a buffer for me, and like she's a very like unique sort of role. So she wasn't really doing any of those classic kind of like reviver or booster. She was just a very unique type of like champion that was being used. With Elva, since she is my reviver, I wanted to make sure she doesn't go down. I gave her like one of my better damage reduction relics. I'll probably take a look through again to see if I have anything better, but this is what I have for now. Whereas defense increases by 1% each time they receive damage. It's not great, honestly, but it's just 10% defense. But we will take it. And Nekmo was running the journal. of Necrotus. And we'll end off with showing you guys Marius. Marius was obviously running Cat Gaze. He is in Helm Smasher and also running a 9-piece Slayer for me. I changed him up a little bit. We have more HP, less defense. I was trying to do something different with him, but he has 415 accuracy. Not really focused on accuracy, just focusing on his stats. 304 crit damage now, 4.1k defense and 63k HP. Nice and tanky. I built all my champions for survivability, apart from Marius. Marius is a bit more damage and survivability, but yeah, that's the team. Let me know what you guys think. I was super happy with this team. This is the team I'm going to be running moving forward. I'm also going to use this on Nightmare, and hopefully we can get some. We can get closer to that 8 billion mark every week, right? 8 billion every week is the dream, and I would love to do that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the video. Let me know what you guys think of the team. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Like the video, share the video, and sub to the channel. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.